To champ select, we'll see how the drafts roll out. paiN, INTZ, Clásico. Watch this one with the sound. We got the crowd sound piped in. You are not going to regret it. Fellas, take it away.
Alright, let's get into this. The picks and the bans. So now Annie hasn't currently been banned yet. I'm watching to see if paiN wants to remove that one. Certainly still very active, and Nosferus could continue his winning ways on it. The LeBlanc removed, the Emilio, the Yuumi, Zeri, and Maokai as well. So actually a fair few power picks left up. I'm looking for Annie, maybe Vi, maybe Aphelios.
I was thinking the Vi might get taken away there. Yeah. Nico left up though. This will be a Nico game for Nosferus. Exciting stuff. This is one of the first
Annie.
Nico games we're seeing in CBLOL, I think. Only a handful of them put together. And now Aphelios or Bvoy and Pro Delta, once again, we're back on the Aphelios Thrash thing. I think it would be so cool if we could see that. ZZK and Weiser, Gwen is a contested pick. They're hovering it briefly here. I don't think they'll lock it in.
Wow, they hovered the Aphelios there, but opted for the Xayah instead. That has had some mixed reviews over the last few weeks. We have had one Nico game so far. It was House in the mid lane, had a couple of massive plays, but didn't end up getting the win for Fluxu on that day. We'll see if Nosferus can turn that record around as Wukong locked in for paiN. A great pick for Karaoke, and this is something that last playoffs, when it was still Sejuani Vi Wukong, we just didn't see Karaoke go to the Wukong for no apparent reason. Everyone else is picking it. He was picking Sejuani and Vi instead. I'm glad to see he's finally picked up the monkey.
Love the Kai'Sa lock-in for Ninja Kiwi. Really good stuff. This is what we were talking about when we were prepping for this one. I want to see everybody on Kai'Sa. Everybody that can pick this champion up. I want to see big mechanical performances. I want to see big flanking plays with the ultimate. Big mechanical plays, and now Ninja Kiwi is bringing the hands to the table. He's throwing them down. He's going to check them into paiN Gaming. Rel going to be going in there with him for Nia.
Yeah, for sure. We love the Kai'Sa plus engage support, right? That kill threat is very much alive on the bot lane. Ninja Kiwi has been performing so well. Part of one of the initial cadre of that early, these young mechanical ADCs. We saw the Juliera for Kai'Sa coming out last game. We've seen people like Brunsey popping off as well today. And Ninja Kiwi certainly on form. I imagine he will get great use out of this Kai'Sa. Going into the Xayah account, so two strong 2v2s again down in the bot lane.
Yeah, nice 2v2s down bot side there. I believe in the Wukong, man. You know I've said it before, and I'll say it 100 more times before the split is over. Wukong, he is the strongest jungler in the game right now. I'd like the Kindred. I'd like the Vi. Goot makes good arguments for the Vi. I think we've seen some good Kindreds come through as well. But, yeah, Wukong is just the biggest thing on Summoner's Rift for me right now. I don't think anything compares. Poppy going to get banned out. Gnar as well. See what else they got. I'm thinking more topside bans.
Yeah, I like these specific bans coming out of paiN and INTZ. Weiser, Gnar, it's not a strong meta pick right now, but Weiser specifically has been crushing on it. Yampi Poppy is a thing, and it has now been denied. The Renekton we've seen come back with a bit of a vengeance here today in the top lane, denied away from ZZK, but the Kennen is still open is what I'm thinking for either side.
Yeah, Kennen potentially. You're also looking at the Malphite as well. Weiser is super big with the Malphite in week 1. Love that play that he had. Oh, we hovered his ear, but we locked in Ari. Just teasing us now at this point, Trajan.
Yeah, I'm a little sad, I'll be honest, Axeman. I would love to see a bit of a Dinkas Azir back on the stage here. We'll see what the top lane is. Screw Kennen, it's an Olaf picked up here. Yampi onto the Sejuani to round out a pretty well-rounded composition, but we have got to keep our eyes on ZZK up there. And now what does Weiser have in the tank to answer?
It's still no Rel jungle, unfortunately, but I'm holding out hope that we'll see it at some point. Kennen hovered now.
Yeah.
Kale was hovered before. We're getting into the hover game a little bit. I don't know how much I like the hover game.
There are no winners. There are no winners in the hover game.
There are no winners. Unless you're hovering Teemo or something like that, and everyone goes, oh, Teemo. Kennen locked in. And that'll be fun into the Olaf, I think. That wins pretty hard, but I do favor the Olaf a little bit. I have a little internal bias.
Yeah, and it's so, I think, impactful here. We'll bring 4 and 4 back in to get your read on this one. The fact that we do have ZZK and Weiser, both really impactful top laners, both with the Kennen that we've seen doing so much work, and the Olaf, which has had a much less successful tour in Split 2 so far. But, I don't know, with ZZK, with playing how well he is, I think he might be able to make it work.
Well, here's the thing. This is ZZK's third Olaf game, and he's 2-0 on it. So if there's anyone that can make this champion tick, it's him. They beat Kaboom on it, and with all due respect to Kaboom, you can only take so much from it. And they beat Liberty on it in week 1, day 1. But then on the other side, this will be the second Kennen game in as many tries for Weiser, and the first Zaya Rakan for B-Boy Pro Delta. I know you told me to get a read in here, but like I was just like, during that whole draft, I was like, is this really the first time they picked it? I was just digging, so I just gave you like fun stat fact nuggets, but either way, I am excited that INTZ are taking swings here, right? Nico in the mid lane, Sejuani is a great enabler, you got Frontline, you've got Engage, you've got Peel, and yeah, Kaiserel, they are just going forward. INTZ are not going to go down quietly. This game is shaping up to be a banger, and I cannot wait to let you guys take it away and help tell us the story of the next chapter of this historic Brazilian rivalry.
Can't wait to get stuck in, man. There's so much history on the line here, and you can see the INTZ fans looking hopeful in the audience. It's been so long, Axeman, since they had anything to be happy about.
Yes,
you can see the hope behind their eyes. I really, for them, for their sake, I'd love for the success to continue.
And you have to imagine this is going to be a fantastic game. Really interesting note as we get onto the Rift here, something that 4x4 mentioned. ZZK has played the Olaf twice before into Kaboom and into Liberty. Those strike me as teams you want to just secure the easy wins on. Interesting that ZZK would identify paiN as a team they just want to secure an easy win on. That reads to me as a very confident draft from INTZ. And I love the confidence. I think that's exactly where they need to be. They don't need to be beating around the bush. We don't need another 50-minute game between two evenly matched teams. We need a knockdown, drag-out fight that ends pre-30.
Yeah, exactly. What we're learning here is that INTZ clearly consider paiN a low elo team, because this is when they bring the Olaf out. paiN's a bad team in the eyes of INTZ. They're just going to smash that top lane, but this is against Weiser. This is against potentially, you know, strong argument for the best top laner in this split in the CBLOL. Has been around for so long, pretty much a naturalized CBLOL top laner at this point, and he has been crushing it so far in the top lane. This matchup is going to be very, very close, and the fact that we can even say, oh, I'm so excited for this top lane matchup, it's going to be close, and then same for mid and same for bot. You know, if you'd asked me pre-split, I would say, well, surely jungle, mid, top, these all just clap for paiN, right? But now I'm not so sure, and I love that I'm not sure.
Yeah, there was a point after week 1 where we all had a serious discussion about Yampy maybe being the worst jungler in the league. And that's so far in the rear view. Yeah. It's wild that it was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, how the tables have turned right now, and INTZ are here for it. So you can see them getting stuck in that top stage. ZZK trying to corral Weiser around the wave, but it's heavy trading on either side.
Heavy trading for both sides here. Lots of early damage and lots of base damage as well. Pro Delta gonna take a lot of that base damage through here. Oh, the ghost is proc. ZZK's got it!
ZZK! Oh my goodness, the Giga Chad Olaf top.
That was incredible. That damage came out so fast. I could never pull that play off. That was absolutely a fully mechanical play. Honestly, I would want a replay on that. That happened so fast. I mean, he
over in a flash.
It panned up. He was already ghosting, and I guess Weiser was like, "Wait, what?" And then just got fully comboed, man. The flash.
I don't die here.
He like threw the axe and then flashed onto the axe to pick it up to throw it again, and that was incredible. I'd never seen anything like it from an Olaf play there. What was that, level 2? Was that level 2?
I think it was level, yeah, it must have been level 2 because it had undertow and Q. So yeah, the earliest possible moment.
Yeah, the earliest possible moment, just immediately engages on Weiser. This is 100% ZZK's champion that he picks when he just needs to beat somebody, and he is doing that now to Weiser.
What a haymaker for INTZ to throw out. We're trying to revive the rivalry here, and ZZK just struck the first punch so hard in that top side, and Weiser reeling now. Lost his flash and his TP as well, so this man is vulnerable for repeat pressure.
Oh, he's running through the jungle. He's going to help out with Scuttle. He's being such a good laner. ZZK, my goat. It's up top side now. Karaoke going to fight over the Scuttle a little bit here. But Yampy will be fine.
Take it, though.
Yeah, Nosferus rotating over. and they're both going to back on vision a little bit. But yeah, really well played from the entire top side from INTZ. Everybody's rotating, everybody's looking super solid in these plays, and of course the solo bolo from ZZK looking very, very good for INTZ. If they keep this play up, there won't be any room for paiN Gaming to get back in the game, but it's early. They got lots of time, right? I mean, we want this to be a pre-30, not stomp, but a fight, right? And the reality is that isn't happening a lot in the league right now. A lot of these games are going 40, 50 minutes, so there's no way you're calling a game this early in CBLOL.
Absolutely not. paiN Gaming have come back from deficits before. It's a very seasoned roster here, right? INTZ, they were building towards this split, and we're starting to see the fruits of those labors, but 4 of these 5 paiN Gaming members were here last split as well, and several of them have, you know, titles under their belt, have accolades to work with. As Karaoke does manage to pick away the second scuttle. Yamp, you're not going to get the double on him today.
No, not getting the double on him quite this time, but that Sejuani still is up a little bit. And if you're Karaoke, you want to catch up and make sure you're getting that ultimate on the same timer so you can play around these objectives a little bit better. But it's going to be a long game. I'm thinking unless we see some big trades from Ninja Kiwi. Yeah, here we go.
Speaking of.
Yeah, speaking of.
Trying to
Pro Delta eats a bunch of damage there.
Yeah, Nia and Ninja Kiwi, I would expect, we've seen what can go on in top lane. The other lane that I'm really looking for fighting in is this bot side, where you've got the Rel Kai'Sa kill threat, same with Zyra Khan. Both of these lanes, if they catch someone slipping, could go for that kill on the kind of turn of a dime.
It's all about positioning. Catch somebody out of position and catch them out of that Pythagorean triangle you have to build as a bot lane together. And you will be absolutely up a creek without a paddle. Yampy going to start up this dragon. I love the proactivity. They must have tracking on Wukong somehow. But I got to tell you, this really dares Dunkato not to walk down there and try to fight over this. But looks like Karaoke, no interest. Just going to give this one over for free. We don't like that trade. It's all about dragon stack.
It is. So far today, we have seen these dragons be very, very important. We've seen a lot of elders today as well, Axeman, that have gone either which way. Not even resulted in wins half the time, considering last game as well. But the dragons have certainly been pivotal in today on the CBLOL English. But INTZ walking away with the early lead. They got the kill. They got the Drake. They are sitting pretty right now. And of course, paiN Gaming with a vicious team fight comp that will really come into its own once you get those 5v5s going.
Yeah, I know we shouldn't talk about it too much here, and ZZK might be about the 1v2, but I think Liberty might be one of the first teams this split to get Dragon Soul and then lose the game. I think it's only happened one other time. So, yeah, unfortunate for them, and it's got to go to 50 minutes if you want to beat a team with Dragon Soul.
Yeah, for sure. It's they were just trying to ruin your stats specifically, Axeman.
They were.
Was like, this guy's speaking with too much confidence here. Let's just put pay to that one. I don't think like you know what's going on in this region, and then they just do that one. And I mean, who could have predicted anything that went on in that game? But to be honest, as we can see the trading coming back in the mid lane, we're obviously going to watch for Nosferos on this Nico as well. We haven't seen too much of this champion, but we know it is very high priority, massive presence in the ban phase, and the burst with the ultimates plus the stealth mode that you can achieve with that passive, certainly something to be aware of on paiN's side.
Massive presence in the bans, but also you have to look at like scrims too, right? This champion is so good internationally. The reason is getting banned all the time is because it's stomping scrims. There's just no other explanation there, and that's why we're seeing it get picked up whenever it can be picked up, this Nico. And yeah, it's working out for Nosferos so far, but we obviously expect big things from Nico, as it has eaten almost every ban, every time. Yeah, I mean, the Annie was open, but he didn't want it. He went for the Nico instead. And if you can pick something like over Annie at this point, that must mean it's a pretty broken-ass champion, as we do have level 6s coming in across the board. Both junglers, the bot laners, mid as well. Up hit that a while ago, and Yampy, with level 6 on deck, is ready to get a bit scrappy with it. Nosferos can come in with the Pot Blossom, and that's just everyone in Karaoke just evaporates in the 2v2. Yeah, you don't like to see that if you're a paiN fan, but the INTZ fans are cheering now. ZZK going to start up the Rift Herald, let it reset for himself. And we'll see if they try to make a play around this Rift Herald in just a little bit. But it looks like Yampy path down to the bot side, wants to control that bottom 3v3 and use Wukong being off the map to help out with that a little bit. Pro Delta's going to wander up here, try to get some vision. And the bot lanes will reset.
A very, very confident play by INTZ in that river, right? We were praising ZZK for his confidence in taking that 1v1, and then Yampy just dinged 6 and instantly went, all right, we're fighting, we're 2v2ing right now, let's go. Straight into a Wukong, right? With the Cyclone and the Ahri has the Charm and the Spirit Rush. They have damage, but you're like, no, we win these. And they absolutely did win those. So I love that Yampy is still so confident in what is, on paper, a very even 2 versus 2. But they smashed it, and you can see why he was confident.
Yampy's going to start up this Rift Herald now. Yeah, I think it's all about confidence, to be honest. And INTZ are showing that confidence, and it's really building into why they're winning the game so far right now, why they're able to get these objectives. And I think the relationship between Yampy and his solo lanes has really improved since week 1 as well. That's something we identified as a weakness for this team, was Yampy is locking in things like the Volibear, and then just not playing well with his solo lanes, not getting the dives off in the timers he had to do them. And looks a lot better on the Sejuanian off the Volibear, I gotta say. I think this is just an easier champion to execute, to be honest, but also you can tell the relationship, the communication has changed a lot as well.
Yeah, I 100% agree. We had so many questions for Nia and Yampy. Like, we know their solo lanes are good. We know Ninja Kiwi's good. Nosferos is super improving. ZZK is stepping up. We know the talent is there on the carries, but the supporting cast just wasn't performing in those early stages. But now, they absolutely are. Yampy, you're absolutely right. This guy has championships for a reason. He's showing us why. And now even Nia, that we had even more questions for, on the Rel, I'm going to be keeping an eye on him to see if he can also be a part of this glow-up and give us those big engages to follow up and set the carries up for the big team fight win.
Weiser's way down at 7th in the gold total right now. I'm not sure if that's bugged or something, but yeah, actually looking at the numbers, yeah, he is firmly in 7th. Yeah, it's not a good time for the Kennen right now, but keep in mind Kennen plays well around the mid game, so he's not necessarily shut out yet, and that ult bringing in the utility of the stun as well is a big reason why you go for the champion. It's really just survivability he's going to lack from these items, and that is going to make him easier to kill.
Yeah, for sure. You know, we saw FMB in the last game didn't have the best of early and mid games, but once those flanks came around, the Kennen was still doing a huge amount of work, and Weiser, we know we can trust him in a team fight. That's why people abandon Nara away from this guy when no one else is even really picking the champion, as paiN rotates onto the Cloud Dragon. They'll even up the stacking at 1 apiece. We'll see what Rift we have here going into our Game 5 of the day. So far, it has generally been INTZ in control of the pace here in the last game in O Clásico. See who's going to walk away with the win at the end of it all.
Could be INTZ biding their time. Yeah, paiN Gaming here to pick up that second dragon. So dragons split up here. And it will be another ocean map. So a couple ocean maps today. And, more bushes. And more stealth.
Engage in the mid lane once again. Yampy aggressive on to Karaoke. Flashing from Nia. Doesn't find the monkey, but finds Pro Delta instead. Goes the Rakan, out he goes back to the Wukong, and Yampy pushing for more, but Inkado running interference. B-Boy heading up the river, a TP behind from Weiser. This could get hairy for INTZ. Can we get back to the safety of the tower? Flashes over the E. Pop plus about a Nico, but he's already taken down Yampy, and now ZZK is rocked up for a bit more. Ninja Kiwi around the corner, and straight back the top. This is very scrappy in the mid lane. 2 for 1 though.
2 for 1 coming down. You can tell ZZK really neutralized that fight for INTZ and leveled things out a little bit for him, bringing the damage. Love to see the Olaf having a more active role in these team fights, but difficult to get down there from the top lane, right? And he does not have teleport. He just has to walk. Watch this team fight once again.
Fight coming through here. Pro Delta dipping out and in and out and in. You never know where he's going to go, but you can see Weiser waiting under his turret there, looking for the TP angle. He does finally find it. Quicker on the rotations, paiN, that's the benefit of having that TP, and they will get those kills. But yeah, as soon as ZZK arrives, you can see that paiN are like, we don't really want to deal with this guy.
No, not at all, and he'll take down Weiser with relative ease, and he's going to be an absolute terror once he gets another item or two. So you got to watch out for that Olaf for sure. Rift Herald going to get the charge off down in the mid lane. Lots of nice gold as we head past the 14-minute mark. We'll get the turret plating total for you up on screen here.
Yeah, for sure. INTZ building up a nice 1.5k gold lead to go with their one dragon as well. It's a good early game, another good early game from INTZ, we must say. And paiN Gaming, they didn't go for the same sort of strange early mid-game focused comp that we saw yesterday. It didn't really work from them, and I think they've identified that. They've gone back to a much more team fight oriented kind of front to back. We've got scaling options kind of comp. So I like the adaptation they made in draft to go back to what usually works for them. But they are going to have to go up against INTZ. B-Boy sidesteps the Glacial Prison, has Pro Delta and a TP coming in from Dinkato this time. Nostros with the root, looks to find the damage, but Yampi is just going to be left out on the lurch, tries to get away onto Gasol. Pot Blossom is there, doesn't find the stun on B-Boy though with a well-timed Featherstorm, and again, the INTZ jungler is taken out.
paiN Gaming with a really nice play here. Something Yampi did really well is that he didn't hit that ultimate directly onto the Xayah. What you're wanting to do is lay that ultimate zone under the Xayah so that when she Featherstorms, she can't move too far in the Featherstorm and has to walk slowly out and away. That limits her ability to redirect the Featherstorms and catch roots out. That's an interaction between Sejuani and Xayah that we've seen a number of times in the CBLOL last split, and we're seeing it more and more this split as Xayah is picked more often. But yeah, you're not trying to nail the Xayah, you're just trying to get a big slow under her.
Yeah, for sure. And sadly, it wasn't enough here due to that teleport advantage, right? We can see the double teleport from paiN twice now has worked in their favor and meant that they've had the bodies in the fights just before INTZ can. And they've been able to find those advantages there. Not found the gold lead again just yet, but they're keeping it even. INTZ not going to be able to stroll through this one. I dare say we're not going to get our 30-minute game, I'm afraid, Axeman. I feel like this one is going to go down to the wire. We're settling in for the long haul.
Yeah, we're in for the long haul. Hopefully you brought your snacks with you, Trajan, because it's going to be a long one. Rift Herald spawns on the Summoner's Rift. INTZ controls this one, in spite of paiN Gaming's control of the rest of the map. It is just this one objective area that is controlled by INTZ, and paiN Gaming will not push their way in, instead opting to just kind of chill, I think, is the vibe here. We're just kind of chilling out.
Yeah, look at that, all those red wards on the bot side of the map. paiN Gaming have the entire bot side lit up like Christmas, but no one's there from INTZ. They're taking Herald, because that's the objective on the map. So Dinkato is getting a decent amount of damage on this tower. He's not going to find it on this wave. They'll be able to keep it alive for now, avoid the bonus gold. But you know, INTZ with that Herald might be able to ideally crack the mid lane for them, right? And really open that map up for themselves.
Well, that would be the best thing, Trajan, but I think they're going to want to try and fight over this dragon here. I do think dragon stacking is the most important, and stacking these ocean dragons as well gives you a lot more options as we move later into the game. You know, just healing between objectives as you're walking to them, walking to different areas of the map. Gets pretty strong for you. It helps you siege objectives as well. So that's always good stuff. And this will be the fight over the dragon. Just like you said, Rift Herald crashing through the mid lane.
We did see Pro Delta manage to stop the back of ZZK there, and I don't know how much gold he has, but if that denied him a second item for this fight, that could be massive. He's caught in a 1 versus 3. He's already low, but they're committing in the mid lane, and Weiser's been caught. ZZK on the other side was able to ghost to freedom. INTZ win out on both fronts. Now they got the 4v5.
Yeah, I get the 4v5 into the dragon play here, Trajan. Karaoke on a bit of a flank. Makes things more of a 3v5 on the front line.
Oh, Pot Blossom's in, gets one stun, INTZ peel away, Karaoke in, look at the Cyclone knocking everyone up in the jungle corridor, and the Xayah loves the jungle corridor, the feathers tearing through INTZ, they will clap back and knock down the Wukong. Flash in, double knocker from Pro Delta, does he get away, the charm doesn't land. And B-Boy can't find another route, another very close fight from both of these teams, but paiN end up with the great control.
Surely the dragon is your prize here for paiN Gaming, Trajan. They'll take it down. Weiser teleporting in to support his team in the objective take. This is only the second dragon for paiN Gaming, so the drag stacking is nothing to worry about for INTZ just yet. You want to make sure you're keeping that under control, though. Look at this replay. We saw Karaoke with a monster flag coming through here. He's got the Cyclone up, and he's going to use it to maximum effect. Look at this. He marches right up the back of INTZ, flashes in, drops the Cyclone, clones, Cyclones again, and everybody's dying now. ZZK, it's a lucky shot there. True damage takes down Karaoke. Flash forward, knock up from Pro Delta, and the charm goes wide.
Yeah, Karaoke basically kills Ninja Kiwi all by himself there, just Wukong things, and that without that Kai'Sa damage. Definitely missing for INTZ, and paiN get the first Ocean Drake for themselves. Now, INTZ returning to this mid lane. They did get that tower, so they do have a bit more space to work with, and they've still got plenty of gold, and you can see INTZ, they're trying to push forward on this top side, trying to extend that vision line into paiN's side of the map.
I'm looking at these vision lines now. Really need paiN Gaming to set up solid vision around the objective they actually want to play for. And it seems like a lot of that vision is still around the bottom side. You see a lot of control wards down there. Like to reset those up around the top side of the map so we can maintain control and be proactive.
Oh, Yampi doesn't find the ult to B-Boy, but they might go for the play anyway. Featherstorm is there, crash down from Nia, doesn't find the CC. Beautiful pullback on the Feathers again. And it's support for support trade as Ninja Kiwi does have the damage to knock out the Rakan.
Yeah, it's just not quite enough there from B-Boy, and oh, he actually will walk out. Pro Delta, the one going down. Yeah, so they trade support for support back and forth. Sorry, Zion and Rakan look very similar in those skins.
Yeah,
yeah, I was a little confused.
feathery dudes running around, you know.
It's just some feathery bird people, right? Yeah, but I wanted paiN Gaming to control the top side there, set up the better vision. You kind of saw what came of it there. There wasn't any control over the middle lane, and they will fully engage on B-Boy.
Spot side, Nosferus there under the guise of Yampi. I was about to say both top and junglers are down there, but that's not Sejuani. That's a Nico, my bad. I got bamboozled by Nosferus just there. As Dinkato again in the top lane. He has been splitting a lot on this Ahri. Yes, he has 5 assists. He's doing some work in the fights, but he's making sure the side does get picked up as Nosferus forces the flash from Weiser in that 2v1 in the bot lane.
Really good stuff down bot side here as we pan up to the top. Pro Delta and Nia going at it again over the vision. Love a good support fight. And there's just no hope of picking the Rakan. The Rakan is so slippery. It's what gives us more Rakan picks than Nautilus picks in the meta right now. You can kill a Nautilus, but that Rakan, there's just no way.
Yeah, this is really looking like the game that I kind of wanted it to be deep down in my heart. I think, yes, I would have loved to have a 30-minute stomp just to kind of speed us up from the last game, but at the start of the day, Axeman, I was looking at INTZ versus paiN, and I was thinking this could be the highest quality game of the day. Both of these teams have demonstrated time and again, especially INTZ now in this split, that they can do the right thing at the right time. You know, they can play out good, solid League of Legends and have the skill to back it up. And that's kind of what we're seeing. The lead has been pretty much the same, only a few hundred for INTZ for a while now. Super even map state. Both teams showing what they've got in the team fights. I think we're going to see, at least for the last game of the day, a very strong, very high quality game of League in the CBLOL.
I think that is pretty correct as well here, Trajan. Seems like they're playing it nice and slow. Fighting on good timers, fighting for objectives that they need, leaving other objectives up, trading things back and forth, all good markers of good League of Legends play. And critically, they are dead even in gold, which is another excellent marker of good League of Legends.
Yeah, paiN have managed to close that gap as they're now foraging into this top side river. ZZK will back away. B-Boy in the mid lane. This fed Xayah 3-0-1. We've seen the damage that he's already started to pull out, and paiN have been leveraging the B-Boy damage so heavily this split. A massive damage share compared to the team, even now in this new patch where mid laners and top laners are starting to steal some of that damage percentage. B-Boy stands tall, doing so much work for paiN in the fights, and I feel like today is going to be no different.
Certainly doesn't seem that it's going to be that different. Oh, man. I'm looking at these 280 carries, man. I just can't get over the thought that one of them is about to get a full-on pentakill.
Yeah, man. Ninja Kiwi's the same. I'm gassing up B-Boy, but Ninja Kiwi's been doing similar dirty work as Nia and Nosferus both have nasty flanks right here. If paiN walk behind this Nico, this could be horrific for them. As the Baron doesn't love her. Weiser spots the Nico out now. It's a 1v1. It's not going to be the flank there. A 4v4 in the river as well. Nia steps away. Sejuani out breaks them apart. And no one's gone down just yet. Ninja Kiwi's on his own, tries to catch Weiser, takes the game into his own hands, but served himself up for Pro Delta, has to cleanse, has to flash, and will survive. Nia's maybe looking for the engage, crashes down over the wall, but doesn't have too much health to work with. Bot blossom gone to 3, but B-Boy has played caller to take him down, and now paiN are fighting back in the river. Ninja Kiwi can't do it all, and it's a triple for the Xayah, making a quadra. Do we have the penta for B-Boy? You called it, Axeman, but it's not quite gonna happen.
It's so close there, Trajan. B-Boy deserved it, but it's not enough to take down Ninja Kiwi. Ninja Kiwi remains, we'll say, untouched. They're gonna get the Baron on the backside here as well. I just mentioned it, man. I knew it was gonna happen. One of those 80 carries is gonna pop off, get a huge multi-kill, and it's B-Boy that's able to do it. But Trajan, from the top of this fight, it didn't look too good for B-Boy. A lot of things are going well for INTZ. Big Yampy ult. Noceris distracts Wiser, gets the Kennen ult for free. Ninja Kiwi with a big flanking maneuver here. But now, all of a sudden, the vibe changed. What's happening? It's Noceris over the wall with the Pop Blossom onto 4, but B-Boy dodges with the ultimate. Incredible maneuver for B-Boy. This single-handedly saves him the fight. And on the backside, B-Boy able to fight his way out.
Yeah, I think if B-Boy doesn't get that ult timing, I think they just straight up don't win the fight. And I'm going to be honest, Axeman, I'm going to need you to predict a pentakill before every team fight going on now, because you've got the gift, you've got the touch, man. You asked for it, and it almost happened. As now paiN circling around this next dragon, another hard engage, but the Drake goes massive again.
No,
finds the first kill. B-Boy firing back, big fight from Wiser. Yappy's in the pit, desperately trying to get the dragon. A Pop Blossom lands, but it can't do it again. B-Boy with another triple, 10, 0 and 1, and they get the dragon. This paiN 80 carry is going crazy today.
Just like that, Trajan, the game is blown wide open. The gold lead 5K, the Dragons 3, the Baron power play in tow as well for paiN Gaming. They have everything working forward for them, and they're taking down structures. Mid lane goes down, top lane is shortly to follow. This mid lane second turret may even go down on this push as well, Trajan. It's so incredible for paiN Gaming. Can INTZ come back?
Can they maintain the confidence? They came into these last two fights very confident, but both of them went horrendously wrong, and paiN now with a massive gold lead, 7.5k, sitting on Ocean Soul Point, and a massive lead on turrets. The map is theirs to play as they like. Look at this gold graph. It's so close, it's so even. INTZ maintaining a small amount of control, and then it just drops off a cliff, Axeman.
I would tend to agree with the cliff there. I mean, we're all looking at the same graphic. I don't think anybody would want to fall down that kind of steep decline. Noceris maybe caught out, has the Pop Blossom.
Yeah, and the stasis as well. It's got the root and the rotations through from INTZ, and Ninja Kiwi commits to it, gets a cycling out of karaoke. I think at least Pro Delta will not be allowed to escape, so the commitment onto Nico, but he's got the defense. A lot of damage back with Ninja Kiwi though. Dinkado firing away over the wall, dashes in with the Spirit Rush. Can he find the kill onto the carries? Doesn't find another charm onto Nosferus. They've managed to escape for now, as ZZK gets a little bouncy in the bot lane.
Gets a little bouncy down there. Noceris a little pick on a Pro Delta, but they're still fighting. They're still fighting in the top lane, Trajan.
They were looking for the root. They almost got it onto B-Boy, but one extra minion in the way stops it up. He'd have been dead to rights if they got that Nico root, but he will walk away. And Dinkado, I can see 0 and 11, still doing a lot of work in the side lanes in the fights, and he's built the old Medjais as well. He's going to have that real damage to be serving up.
That is the coolest thing I have seen today, is the Medjais build there from Dinkado. Finally an Ahri with a little bit of damage, right? Built the Everfrost, he built the Merc Treads. We're thinking, another tank Ahri, man, oh man.
Yeah.
But no, sir. No, sir. Horizon focus into the Medjais, and suddenly, just like that, Dinkado is dishing out the damage in big numbers. You gotta watch out for this champion in these team fights. He can absolutely delete Ninja Kiwi.
Yeah, I am on principle opposed to the Banshees buy, even though literally objectively in this game I think Banshees is a really good purchase against like Nico and Sejuani and AP Kai'Sa and things, but I don't want to see it. I want to see things with bigger AP numbers, Axeman. I love where his head's at right now. I want to see more of that, as we might go into a little bit of a lull state for now. 2 minutes before the Soul Point, and these teams have really loved to team fight around the objectives.
Yeah, sell the Everfrost. Let's see the Night Harvester.
Get
Dragon up in 2 minutes, Baron up in 2 minutes too, so it's slower, as he mentioned. Both teams with a little wiggle room, and it'll slow down a little bit here. Wiser's got a couple key tools he didn't have before. can dash forward with his mythic item, but also has a little bit of resistance to the magic damage there too with the, I'm going to call it Verdant Amulet. That's not the name of the item though.
It's green, it might as well be. They caught out
Oh,
Nia,
Nia's
Pure
gone!
Delta finds the kill. And the rest of INTZ in full retreat. Ninja Kiwi though, he's caught on the flank. If Karaoke can stick to him, they'll knock him down, but he will escape with a timely killer instinct. And Ninja Kiwi just slipping away there, but Nia starting to struggle in this game. 0-6 and 7. And now Pro Delta's really hitting the stride on the Rakan. As Yampi bumps them away from the tower. Can they save the structure? I'm not sure they can. B-Boy is just too scary right now.
Is just a little bit too scary. I would have to agree. I mean, I don't want anything to do with that guy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Freaks me out. Dragon up in 54 seconds now. The same is true of the Baron. It'll have to be a decision for both teams what you want to go for. Obviously, if you're paying, you want that Dragon, right? But you can also afford to give the Dragon over to INTZ. That's only their second Dragon, and go for the Baron and try to end this game. Plus, even if they don't add another power play, it would put them much more clearly in the lead as well. So really paiN in control of the map. INTZ have to build a case for why they should get an objective here.
Yeah, absolutely. paiN with the freedom to go where they like. They get value on either side. ZZK walks into a charm, takes a bit of damage from Dinkado, but it looks like both teams are focusing on this Ocean Drake. About 10 seconds until it spawns. Wiser there rejoining the team. There are some TP flank wards on the bot side of the river as well. And INTZ, they've been the ones pulling the triggers so far. They've been the ones looking for the fights, but they've not been able to catch out B-Boy yet. See if they have any more luck this time, as now this might be a bit of a pincer developing in the river. They're committing onto Xayah, very far away from the rest of the team. Gets the pedestal out. Can they find the kill on the carry? Pulls back with the blade core, goes into stasis, and now Karaoke with the flight. There's the pop blossom, but ZZK finds it, and still it does not matter. They finally killed the Xayah, but it cost them everything.
paiN march to victory on the backs of that play. Trajan, they gotta, do they have a wave with them? No, they're gonna try it end anyway. Karaoke marches in. They're gonna take down the inhib turret, the inhib along with it. They got 20 seconds to end here, Trajan.
They've got the wave coming in now. I think this is probably a done deal. Nia coming up first, but he's not gonna have anything to say about this. paiN Gaming burning through the waves. They don't have B-Boy, but they have 4 other strong members as the minions crash into the structures, and that's going to be it, Axeman. paiN Gaming, we thought O Classico would give us a little bit more of an even run, and INTZ certainly had something to say, but still, paiN Gaming remains well and truly on top.
A hard-fought game from both sides. Lots to be proud of for either team. And I think everyone, while they might not be happy with the result, was happy with the gameplay that we got to see from 2 of the top teams in the CBLOL. Happy to see these teams go in deep playoff runs. Would love to see them in international competition. I think either of these teams have proved themselves so far, even in week 3.
Yeah, for sure. INTZ, they didn't get the win today, and they did struggle in those team fights, but I put that more on B-Boy just being an absolute ungodly beast in this game on the Xayah. Huge performance from him and the rest of the paiN Gaming team, setting him up, keeping him protected, running interference in those fights, but oh my goodness, B-Boy, just the man of the match here today. All of our AD carries, to be honest, been popping off, but he certainly took the cake.
Yeah, and what a game for paiN. I mean, look, INTZ, they fought hard. And I'm with you, Trajan. I thought we were going to get a little bit more, but paiN, they just look to be a bit of a cut above. Again, I think the floor is just higher. But let's start with INTZ before we get to praising B-Boy, which I am sure we will do. And he's my pick for MVP. I don't get any sort of vote in that. That just kind of speak that into the universe.
Will manifest.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't actually matter. But because it started off sick. ZZK right here. Wow. And then Nosferos with the Pop Blossoms. Trajan, I'll start with you. This man Pop Blossomed pretty much on cooldown. We saw some good, some not so good.
Yeah, those solo lanes of INTZ really started things off right. You know, the bot lane was scrappy, but no one could really get a leg up. But Nosferos and ZZK were showing why we're suddenly talking about these guys in such a more positive way. They're not just kind of aggressively mid anymore. They are now taking it to some of the best players in our league, in Dinkado and Wiser.
Yeah, and Axeman, these fights were back and forth. They were so close, and it was INTZ. They, you know, like you said, not just aggressively mid, not just aggressive for no reason, but the fight, they just didn't really come together. It felt like it was Nosferatu starting these fights, and this one right here, all three of us collectively lost our minds.
Ooh.
But it was paiN that came out on top, and again, it's just because of that man, B-Void.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, you can't talk up B-Void enough. He's got an incredible skill, but also playing into this too is just Featherstorm, man. Being able to go untargetable, drop a bunch of damage on everything in front of you, then rip it back through is an incredible ability. And I don't think we've really found a team comp that's able to deal with that effectively yet. I think that's why we see Xayah and Rakan on the rise, and I expect to see a lot more priority on Xayah Rakan in the future, even as much as we've seen it this weekend. I think we're going to see even more.
And I mean, it feels like we're watching like different angles of the same fight, right? It's INTZ pull the trigger first, and then Featherstorm hold up, and then swing it right back. Wiser damage over the top. Pro Delta with the CC as well, and it was just rinse and repeat for them. And I think that is, I don't know, Trajan, does that worry you at all that INTZ maybe couldn't find a solution to it, or was it just a bit of a comp diff that this is kind of all they could do?
I honestly think that when we're getting on top of the Xayah, the Pop Blossom isn't the right tool because it isn't instant, right? You can see he can literally just reaction Featherstorm to it, right? We needed to see, for me, I think Nia on the rail. We needed better angles. We needed the flash magnet storm or a crash down over a wall to connect. That's where you can actually catch him out. Then they have the CC to layer it, and they can kill him before he gets a chance to Featherstorm, right? But the Pop Blossom Nosferatu was trying to start all these fights, but B-Void just had the anti-Pop Blossom button, right? As Axeman said, it's a pretty good ability, that one. And I think we also see here why they took Xayah and not Aphelios. If B-Void's playing Aphelios, I think paiN lose this game. Because he dies every time. Every time B-Void got away with Featherstorm, he would die as Aphelios there, and we'd have a very different story.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. And Axeman, we're gonna get one last look here. I think it kind of speaks to, again, just the tools that INTZ had at their disposal, but it was about the layering, right? They looked actually kind of cohesive, and it looked like they had kind of an idea of what they wanted to do. But this is the first time we've seen INTZ on the back foot in a long time. And this is coming off the actually, no, here we go. Yeah, like you said, Trajan, the Flash Magnet Storm wasn't there, and Axeman, it didn't end up going how INTZ fans wanted it, but I think you got to give more credit to paiN than Flame INTZ, or do you read it differently, perhaps?
No, that's exactly how I read it. I think paiN is an incredibly good team. I think maybe the days of being second place are behind us. I know it's early in the split, but this team looks incredible right now, and if they continue that upward trajectory, that's always what I look for as an analyst, is who's moving up and who's moving down. paiN Gaming is absolutely moving up, and they started high, right? That's a really good read for them. Looking forward to the back half of the split, looking into playoffs and looking international competition, is where they started and where they're headed. They're definitely headed up.
And Axeman, as we get into the post-game breakdown here, I don't know about you, but as a fellow confidence pick enjoyer, I'm 5 for 5 today, brother. Big day for 4x4 on the Twitter.com. But
I lost so many points.
I think this damage graph speaks to, again, like just how this game went. And I mean, look, INTZ, they were taking some objectives here and there. They were taking some fight wins here and there. ZZK was making things happen. And even to talk about it, Trajan, this actually did not see coming was Ninja Kiwi on this Kaisa. Maybe, I was kind of watching the game with one eye, but a lot of damage from this Kaisa.
Yeah, that's the nature of the AP Kaisa, right? Those Voice Seekers do start stacking up in the mid game, just firing them away for poke, and he's doing so much DPS from this. We saw Pro Delta die several times, just kind of going in and melting on the front line, but it's always enough. It's always worth it if B-Void gets that one massive Featherstorm, right? There's a lot of damage from Ninja Kiwi, but paiN were not coming out of these fights unscathed. Not walking away on 4 full HP bars. They're limping away on 4 30% HP bars. But B-Void is still alive, and all of INTZ are now 0, which is where the kind of difference maker comes in.
And Axe, one last one for you before we get our MVP. No secret as to who it's going to be. You are high on paiN. I think we all are. With the rest of the CBLOL, I mean, just kind of zooming out a little bit, Loud seem to have awoken, right? INTZ and Furia, they're always going to be right there nipping at your heels. Vivocade, right? I mean, this is shaping up to be an extremely exciting end to the split. Is there, of these kind of, I don't know, do you think that paiN have what it takes?
Yeah, I do think paiN have what it takes. I came into week 1 with a lot of faith in a lot of mid-tier rosters. Fluxu, VKS, Los Grandes. A lot of my faith has worn out for most of those rosters, right? I think Fluxu is the only one I still really believe in at this point. I think it's paiN Fluxu finals. I think Fluxu wins, baby. Brunsey all the way. You wanted me to talk up paiN, but it's still Brunsey. It's still Brunsey. Get off! It's Brunsey!
Take his mic away. He's going crazy. He's going crazy.
But for now, it is B-Boy, a 16 KDA, 845 damage per minute. That's what you want to see. Yeah, putting this man on a Xayah, which actually, another fun kind of stat nugget for you. This is B-Boy's first Xayah of the split, Pro Delta's first Rakan of the split. But you wouldn't know it from looking at this game, would you, Trajan?
Nope.
You absolutely could not tell. And the other stat that really jumps out to me from this page is that 35.5% damage percentage.
Jeez.
That is the B-Boy special. That is the B-Boy signature. Is this guy is just doing all of the damage for his team. Absolutely sensational. And then you mentioned Pro Delta as well on the Rakan. Definitely had a lot of great engages, was playing this champion very, very well. So it's another of our rookie supports that is performing out of the gate, which we love to see. It is all very much looking on the up and up for paiN. I agree with Axe that I do think they have the juice to make a deep run. I don't know about finals. But I'm not just sure. I'm not quite there yet. But I do agree with what he said before that they're definitely on the up and up, and I would discount last game, basically, right? I was flaming that comp. I don't think they drafted a paiN gaming comp. I think they did that. I think they learned that. I think they just won't do it again, right? I don't think that tells me that paiN was a bad team in that game. I think they drafted a weird comp that wasn't for them, and they didn't this time, and now they're really good again. So I honestly just want to discount that whole game from my consideration. I think paiN are looking really solid.
And I think you see a lot of teams that, you know, get to that championship form eventually. They do hit kind of these 1 or 2 bumps in the road, and sometimes it is just a weird comp that you say, you know, and it feels like Jace in the mid lane has been at the center of a couple of them. I think of Loud back in, I think it was day 1 against paiN where they put 10-ons on Jace, and they're just like, what are we doing? Absolutely not.
Dunkado, man.
Yeah.
Neither of them. Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, these two can do so much more. We saw it. I think we're going to get one last look at the standings here before we wrap up. If I heard it. No, okay, I did not hear that correctly.
Like,
but yeah, no, but Trajan, I'll kind of pose the one question to you before we get that last standings graphic up. If you had to pick one of the top 7 right now, who's on the outside looking in?
I don't want to say INTZ after just one game. I think it's too early for that. I think it's between INTZ, Furia, and is VKS even there anymore? Are they 8th now?
They're in the top. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
The answer is
VKS.
VKS then. It's
Yeah.
VKS, that's the answer. Yeah, I forgot about that. I couldn't tell if they dropped out. It's VKS for sure, I think.
Ouch. Axe, one shot for you. No justification. We got to get out of here.
Same question? VKS. What? Yes.
All right, cool. And with
Absolutely.
that, thank you guys so much for being here. My name has been 4x4. Big shout out to Trajan and Axeman for joining me for 3 out of these 5 games. It's been a blast. CBLOL always delivers, and much more so today. For Dia, for Rudude, for our producers down in Brazil, for our fans all over the world, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you back here next week. Same time, same place. Adios.